good with it? Lucky Lefty Podcast, Honora Boys. Definitely in the building. We are brought to you by Honora Whiskey, honorawhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, honorawhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure that you do so.
responsibly.
Big time show today, man. We're going to recap Junior Day, successful Junior Day. Now, I know Notre Dame fans say, yo, no one committed. What? Notre Dame knocked this Junior Day out of the park. LL question of the day. Notre Dame staff dressed up as leprechauns to welcome the visitors for Junior Day. Was it great? Was it corny? Or was it, ah, it was cool. Let us know what you think. Because there was a debate amongst Notre Dame fans on social media left about, oh man, that's kind of corny. Oh, they could have come up with something better. Dude, it's about having fun and creating an environment and a culture. I could care less about what they dressed up as, in my opinion. I care about what I saw, the pictures that were taken, and the vibes that came out of the weekend that I believe is ultimately going to lead to Marcus Freeman putting together a top 5 class. That's right. I'm predicting it now. So I don't mind walking out on a limb. I don't mind, because if I end up wrong, I'm wrong. But most of the time, I end up being kind of right. So I'm going to walk out and say Marcus Freeman solidifies a top 5 class in
Easily.
2025. I'm
Well,
going to
top
say that.
five, because you know Bama's going to drop out of that solidified top 3 spot.
Well, left, I wasn't even considering other people at Bama, but that's a great point. We see Ohio State selling their soul. Ryan Day selling his soul
What
like,
they
hey,
say
man,
they took in 13, they raised 13 million for the
man,
NIL fund.
bro,
They
let
try
me
to
tell
get an
you
elite
something.
roster. Damn.
This cat is on his last, this is his last stand, bro. I truly believe
And it's
Ohio.
based on one game. It's either you lose that one game and win the championship, or you win that one game and lose in the playoffs, but that's still bad, you know. So it's a rock and a hard place for sure.
I truly believe, love, that people, because you have to understand the athletic director is retiring at Ohio State. That's
Gene
hired.
Smith, shout out Notre Dame alone.
New people, new people in charge said, hey, bro, Gene,
Yeah, that's the
Gene
thing about
let
new
you
people
live.
in charge, no allegiance.
Gene let you live, losing to
Gene
Michigan.
lets you skate by.
He let you skate by.
Because he's trying to transition out of it.
Oh,
So
yeah,
he not going to address you, Ryan Day. It's
right.
the guy coming in. Where I think Marcus Freeman's in a better position with the new guy coming in, and Ryan Day is. Ryan Day is coming in with the new guy on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Freeman's coming in with the new guy on, oh, this could be potentially really good.
Mm. At the end of the day, it's going to prove that Ryan Day is a subpar coach. Because you're
More
going to
on
get all this
third
talent.
base.
Still, fam, if you don't win it all, it's a dub.
Yeah, it's just no way. It's
It's
those
a dub.
impossible positions you've built your team up for.
Yep.
Marcus Freeman, you doing all these transfers, these high power transfers, you got the team looking like the Justice League. Now the expectations behind doing all these power moves is that you're gonna win it all. Not get there, you're gonna win it all. So, and that's in my opinion due to the fact that you went so hard. And it's good that you went so hard, but it's all coming together to where, you know, it's those places where it may be good for some, but not good here. Notre Dame and Ohio State are at those places as head coaches. It may be good everywhere else, 90% of places.
Man,
But the teams that you got are supposed to get the job done. If this was Rutgers, Ryan Day would have a statue outside. He probably would have had $100 million extension. Now, it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. So it's to me, I think a tipping point because now the playoffs show who can coach and who can't. I
Facts.
believe Ryan Day can stay if he can show he can coach through these playoffs because then he'll have some value, he'll have some leverage back. You're losing leverage every time when the season's built on the regular season and one game in your regular season. It's like a fail safe. You know what I mean? So now with it being wide open, you got to be consistent down the stretch.
And you know the crazy thing, left, like, dude, I'm not about to sit up here and talk about NIL, and Notre Dame is never going to spend like everybody else in NIL. We've sat up here, like, dude, we might be the only. I don't know. I know we're one of the few podcasts that has held Notre Dame feet to the fire when it comes to NIL. So there's no need to even get into that side of the con. This is the point. If we're not talking about NIL, Ryan Day ain't getting the job done. Ryan Day has a top 3 recruiting class every year. So I don't want to hear this about he ain't got talent. This what you do. The dude does less with the most. If Urban Meyer was coaching these teams the last 3 years, I guarantee you they wouldn't have 3 consecutive losses to Michigan.
Urban's aesthetic at Ohio State just whooping Michigan like it wasn't a game.
It's totally different. And he's a better coach than Ryan Day. Flat out. That's the point. So Ryan Day has been put in a position where it's put up or shut up. Because if you don't win with all of this transfer talent and all of this talent that could have gone to the NFL draft that chose to come back, it's you that's going to be on the chopping block, bro. Nobody else is going to be on the chopping block. You're on the chopping block. There are new sheriffs in town in Columbus and administration. And this is the thing, does it count, left? Because if Jim Harbaugh is gone and he wins, you didn't beat Jim Harbaugh. You beat Sharon Moore, dude. Or you beat Brian Kelly. You didn't beat Jim Harbaugh. You beat a team that has a new culture.
Yeah, you can't even get that John Harbaugh win in.
So, man.
So beating Michigan in the transition year, quote unquote, who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? People are going to give Michigan a pass. They're going to say, dude, you're supposed to beat Michigan. And
yeah, not only are you supposed to beat them, now you're really supposed to beat them because they got this new coach. Before it was like, okay, you beat the legendary coach, you get some credit. You can't get no credit in your whole season now. You was waiting to the first and last game every year. Now the last game don't even count.
It's like, man, Marcus Freeman can never get David Shaw back. You can't.
Never, ever, ever. That's why he laughed at us. That's why he laughed at us.
That's why he was laughing and smirking on the sideline. He was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
You can't get this one back.
No. And it's like, yo, he has really there's a lot of pressure on Ryan Day. The talent on their team is ridiculous, bro. That's without question. We'll see who's the quarterback.
Do you think Michigan has a talented team, or do you think they just play well as a team? I think they were more.
No. I think Michigan has a great culture.
Okay, yeah.
We can talk about that, Left. That's dope, because I think Notre Dame and what they did this weekend, regardless of how you feel about the Leprechauns, it was about, man, you have to recognize the culture that Marcus Freeman is building, which has taken, and it took Jim Harbaugh time to build the culture, because we just can't say this is a one-year thing. Michigan has been in the college football playoffs 3 consecutive years.
Underrated comment.
You know what I'm saying? Now, we didn't think they would be able to take that next step to win it, which they proved this year that they were able to. But it's like Jim Harbaugh built a culture where next year, I mean, yeah, you would expect Michigan, if he stays, to get back to the playoffs. Even without J.J. McCarthy at quarterback, you would expect Michigan to be right there in the mix to get to the playoffs. So culture is vitally important. I think Jim Harbaugh has done an incredible job building culture. Lock in YouTube channel.
Well, hell, after 10 years in one place, you better build it.
Well, he had an incredibly long leash because he played there. I mean, You know,
Listen,
he has a contract extension on the table right now.
I mean, the only reason why Harbaugh's career at Michigan is slightly better than Brian Kelly's is
Hmm.
because of the national championship, which is very recent history.
Hmm.
Before, I would take Brian Kelly over Jim Harbaugh outside of this last year. Or what's your opinion?
Wait, so you're saying you would take Brian Kelly as a coach over Jim Harbaugh before this last year?
I'm saying if we're just taking the coaching resumes of the 10 years that they both had, because they both had 10 years at
Oh,
their
we're not. We're just talking about Jim Harbaugh's college resume, not his NFL. If we're including his NFL
no, I'm
resume, I
saying
don't.
okay, just college. Yes, just college.
Okay,
They
okay.
both been at their respective schools for about 10 years, right? I think Coach Kelly's body of work was better up until this last year where Michigan won the championship. I think the championship is what makes the difference between Harbaugh and Kelly's coaching and college career.
That's now see that is I would not if someone argued on the side of Brian Kelly based upon those parameters, I would not have a problem with it. I'm
Right.
not
Okay.
sure that I would disagree, but I would definitely say off top, Jim Harbaugh is a considerably better recruiter,
But are
in
they?
my opinion. No, no,
Because
no. You have to do the way he jumped it off. Jim Harbaugh jumped Michigan off with like top five classes, like his first two seasons out the gate.
but they weren't a good team until like the back way end
Left
of his.
his first year, they were literally a fourth down spot in
Oh yeah, that's
Columbus
right.
away. I mean,
That's right. I remember that. I remember that.
and his quarterback was super mid.
Oh, Devin
JT.
Garner,
No, 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 that wasn't Devin Garner. That was the big kid. What was the
Alex
kid?
Walton, or
He was
was it
Spate.
Walton?
Spate.
Spade. Wilton
Spate.
Spade. Wilton
Yeah.
Spade.
Like, yo, he almost won with Wilton Spate. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he got Andrew Luck. He turned around the Stanford program. He was the one that really got Stanford going, and David Shaw took it to the next level. He goes to the NFL, man, rebuilds San Francisco, gets them to the Super Bowl, goes to Michigan, rebuilds them. It's like it's debatable because I look as much as we talk about Brian Kelly came into a situation where Notre Dame was like I wouldn't say on life support, but Notre Dame wasn't in good shape as a football
It
program.
wasn't. It wasn't attractive to watch every weekend. I'll tell you that.
No,
It wasn't bringing in the. We would have a hard time talking about it on the Lucky Legend podcast.
man.
It what? Okay, back then it wasn't enough meat on the bone. Feel like that.
That is true. ND9 says it best. Buddy, on some guy says it best. Ryan Day so dumb he's trying to steal second from third. That's funny.
No, he's just trying to overcompensate for something he's not qualified for. He skipped all the steps of prepping the cake, and then when it came time to make the cake, he don't know how to put it together. Well, you missed the prep stage. You forgot the flour and the cornstarch and the sugar and the vanilla extract. You just showed up with a bunch of ingredients. Like, wait a minute, what
So
am I?
so he's buying the cake mix and just adding water.
That's
He
right.
doesn't know how to do it from scratch.
He don't know how to. He don't know how to win no competition.
And people, there's a big difference
He
from
go to
cake from scratch and cake out the box.
he
Huge
go to
difference.
he go to chili competitions, bringing Wendy's chili. You're not gonna win the competition bringing some Wendy's chili. It
Man, you
might
really
taste
going at
good,
Wendy's chili, huh?
huh?
You really going at Wendy's chili. My dad loves Wendy's chili, man. He got like flat out. He loves well, no, he likes Culver's chili better.
Okay,
He
haven't
likes
had that one.
Culver's chili better, but he likes Wendy's chili.
Now, Wendy's chili wouldn't is good. That's what I'm saying. They good. They good. But you're not winning no chili competition with it now.
No, no.
See, see, and he going in these chili competitions with Wendy's chili. It can fool a lot of people. Oh, that's some good chili. Like your dad. Your dad liked the chili.
Yeah.
But when they talk about winning these awards, getting to the end, you're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna beat the original. Now you're not gonna beat the people that went through the process. Had
Yeah.
them beans in there for about an hour before you threw everything else in. You don't know the steps. So when you requiring him to take these big leaps and jumps and beating Michigan, he don't know the steps. He know how to put the product on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me a D1 guy. I mean, a generational talent at quarterback, run game solid, generational receiver, defense solid. Now he's got to be like, well, you get all this talent. How do you win? What's the coaching situation? See, those are the processes that you miss. Because you think that, oh, I got X player, Y player, Marvin Harrison Jr. He just needs to be in a good opportunity, right?
Yeah.
We just need him just to go out there and shine. But you got to put Marvin Harrison Jr. against Michigan in the right matchups. You can't just have him out there running stuff. You got to have him running efficiently. On third down, you got to make the right call. And only experience can give you the right call. Only experience can do that. That's why Urban, man, Ohio State went into Michigan games with Urban like it was another game. Because you knew Urban Meyer, from a styles make fights, he ain't losing to no Midwest team. Just what it was. Just the style of recruiting, the style of play and coaching, he's not losing to no Midwest team. The Michigan that's built right now couldn't beat an Urban Meyer's offense. Because it's multifaceted. You know, you're getting players like Garrett Wilson and Percy Harvin. Like, he's recruiting them type of guys.
Mm.
Like a Trayvon Henderson, okay, we get that's a solid running back. But you get a Percy Harvin back there, now you in threat.
A guy that you can't even say, like Trayvon Henderson, you know he's going to be in the backfield.
You just know
You
he's going to be
have
back.
play to play. You have no idea what Percy Harvin's going to be.
Yeah, and that affects personnel. That affects your third down calls. That affects your first down calls. So, you know, that's what Urban was able to bring, which we talked about, was that Nick Saban brought the Midwest size down south and changed the game.
Yeah.
He was literally Steph Curry with the three. He said, you know what, all these fast small guys down here, if I just bring the size that I learned from up north with them big boys in the Big Ten, I will have an ultimate team. And what did he do? All his championship years, not only were they big as hell, they was fast as hell. You know what I mean? They was so. But the thing is, what Urban did, Urban took the speed, talent, and raw football, brought it up north, and now Ohio State was just automatically different than every other Big Ten team, because every other Big Ten team can't go down there and pull them dudes up. You can't. Joe Rudolph couldn't go down there from Wisconsin to South Florida and convince no dude to just take that. Urban can. Urban can. Urban like, bro, Columbus is great. Just look, you get on my team, I get you the lead. You know, all the guys I coach. So it's just a matter of bringing styles. Now, I want to see what that West Coast flavor does in the Big Ten on a consistent week. In Oregon and USC and UCLA. Yeah. What does that look like in the Big Ten? Because that is going to change again. Receivers. Only one or two schools per year, right? One or two schools per year have these all-time great receivers. You go out west, you got great receivers everywhere. Now, that's the evolution. Now you're going to see teams like a Wisconsin with a well-balanced receiver core, like how they did at Washington. Right? So now it's going to be amazing for the evolution of the game to change, because what's the style in the Big Ten going to be with all these teams melding? What's going to be the style? Is the Big Ten Smash Mouth football big country boys, or is it going to be a hybrid? Or is it going to be a hybrid? Is it a hybrid of a what you saw with Kalen DeBoer at Washington, but you get the hard nosed run game like the SEC at LSU?
Hmm.
Football is going to change because now recruiting is going to change. Now Oregon might have to think about how we recruit a Midwest quarterback for these weather conditions. JJ McCarthy is a perfect fit at Michigan because JJ McCarthy is a Midwest guy. Michigan could never work with a, well, it did work with Tom Brady, a California kid. It did work, but that's an outlier.
I don't know, left. I know Illinois went to the big house and banged Tom Brady as a starter. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Illinois got to,
Shout out to Kirk Kittner and Rocky Harvey. I'm just saying.
that's right.
I mean, Tom Brady was okay. He was all right. He was pretty good as a quarterback, and he didn't win any national championships. He was all right. Some people might say Brian Greasy was a better college quarterback than Tom Brady.
Rex Grossman was the best quarterback in college.
That's our transition. Lefty podcast. Anytime you bring,
he won the Heisman.
I'm a Chicago dude. You cannot mention Rex Grossman in my presence, bro.
What'd you say in college? What'd you say in college?
You did say in college. You did say in college. Luckily, Lefty podcast, man.
That's how the Bears got fooled. That's all I'm saying. So the Bears got fooled.
Let's talk about some of that coaching, man. Man, what's smoking? What's smoking? Brought to you by Fashion Geek, AlonzoJackson.com. Fashion Geek. We run the city. Oh, so great weekend on Junior Day. We talked about the question, what do you think? Left. The big question or the big thing all weekend was how former Notre Dame players had no clue that Nathaniel Owusu Boateng was the brother of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Guys like Jerron Jones and other players were like, oh man, the name sounds familiar. And then later in the day, it was like, oh, yo, I didn't know that was his brother. It's like, dude, come on, man. Y'all got to know little bros. Y'all don't know the little bros of your teammates left.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Getting the number one outside linebacker on campus. This is why I said
you talking about Boateng, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Getting him on campus is huge, man. First of all, this is a IMG kid. IMG kids normally don't. Notre Dame, IMG, normally that's not a connection. IMG is specifically almost like a breeding ground for the SEC. Like, I mean, it is what it is.
You say it's a breeding ground?
Dude, that's where kids go to eventually end up at SEC schools. Or a Clemson.
Yeah, more than likely.
Right?
I mean, but that's like, man, it's so true because it's just unfair. It's like the Harlem Globetrotters. You know how they just are just better than the Washington Generals? That's what the season is for them. Mm-hmm. So they just accumulate. I don't know. It's just an interesting process. It's different than a Bosco, where I think a Bosco
used to be a USC farm. I mean, dude, it was the farm system for USC.
It was the farm system, especially for the USC really good players. But
yeah,
like now, recruiting is such a national thing. Like their quarterback, Pierce Clarkson from Bosco, went to Louisville.
True.
You know, so it's
like we've seen JJ. We've seen some of the quarterbacks from down there go.
JJ, I think he went home, but wasn't JJ committed before he went down there?
Very close.
Like he was already.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he already was like a hometown kid or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
now settle this debate, Left, because we talked about this on. I think we talked about this on Friday's show, where the Smigel kid pretty much, we watched this film and we both were like, yo, We love the kid, right? So we knew that he was
Michael.
the Schmeichel kid from out there. You're playing him from out there,
Oh
and
yeah, he's a beast. I like him more than Ryder Lyons for sure.
I'm not mad either way. I
I'm
promise
not
you, I'm
mad
not
either way.
mad either way.
I saw they went out and Gino and them boys went out to see Ryder Lyons.
Yeah.
See
Well,
him
they went out
throw.
to see both. They saw both of them throw last week, up
Okay,
close
I
and
just
personal.
saw the Ryder Lyons clip. He looks a little stiff, like long back, kind of stiff. You
Hmm.
know, like Kenny. When you see Kenny's little workout tape, it's a pace, it's a flow. You know, he's just getting his practice in. The Ryder Lyons just looked a little too stiff from an eye test. But man, I can't get over that last kid's tape. I just love the confidence he plays with and the confidence in the throws that he makes. That no throw is unguardable, right?
Yeah.
No throw can be guarded, and he's putting the ball in. So I love the direction it's going. Now I did see Deuce Knight also on campus. That brother looked big.
He's huge, bro.
He looks big.
And see, Deuce is not little.
No,
He's
he's not.
tall. His legs are man.
Like
His
if he
strength is
his
there.
by his junior year, man,
Yeah.
this brother got to be 225, 6'4" and a half. Like come on, like
Yeah.
he go he Cam Newton type.
Yeah.
Well, no, Cam Newton 6'6", right?
So they had Brady Smigel on campus with Deuce Knight, and like I said, if they add Brady Smigel to Deuce
He's
Knight,
26, right?
he's 26. If they connect him, yo, because
But
George McIntyre
what's the
committed to
plan though?
Tennessee
What's the
this weekend.
plan though? Because you got CJ in there, Kenny in there, Deuce, and I don't
Hey,
know, man.
Left, I'm not mad. Keep recruiting him, and if somebody has to leave and they just have
I'm
to
not
leave,
mad from consistency.
I'm not mad at all.
I'm just hopeful that we know what to do with it. You know, that's the that's the question that happens all the time.
Yeah,
You can get like Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, guys of those natures can take a super ultra talented Kirby Smart, super ultra talented roster, manage it to where you're not getting a ton of turnover, but also getting production out of it to where guys are just reloading. Whenever you
yeah,
get your program in a reloading stage, oh, you're dangerous.
yeah,
Think about it. We didn't reload off of Isaiah Fowski. And let's be honest about it. We didn't reload from a production side, but you look at Alabama, they had reloaded from a Will Anderson with a Dallas Turner.
right, right.
So who was our Dallas Turner to Isaiah Fowski? You see what I'm saying? So whenever Marcus Freeman can transition into this reloading phase,
That's the next step for you. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the next step. Where you're like, man, you're in season and the guy pops on the screen. You're like, wait, you got to look through the program. Who is this? Oh, that's just another guy in the tank. He a sophomore. He a true freshman.
Well, maybe
He
Boubacar Traore and what he did against USC when he popped with the strip sack
Traore.
against. Maybe he's that dude, right?
Ma-
We've been waiting for Josh Burnham, who's
We've been waiting
fantastic
for
in practice.
Josh Burnham. We
You
got
know,
Howard Cross. We got Riley. It's just who's the guy that, like Justin Scott said, who's that guy I can look next to and know he's better than me? Because all the guys we named, I can't put one over the other right now. Like it would be hard. I mean, unless you could come up with order, I would think, okay, all these guys are pretty much interchangeable. They all got their things they can help the team with, but we don't have no bona fide end like that. You know what I mean?
so one of the
Now maybe the
biggest
guy from
things,
Duke is. I like the guy from Duke.
yeah,
He was
Oven
long,
is nice.
athletic.
A
Yeah,
little bit,
he get after it.
yeah. I
I
agree. I
like him
think
better than
Oven is going
Baptiste.
to
I
be
think he's
really good.
a better prospect size wise than Baptiste. I think Baptiste was good for sure for what we asked him to do,
Hmm.
but I think he's the guy we brought in is going to be a little bit more effective on pass rush downs. Let's be honest. Pass rush is what matters for Marcus Freeman and Al Washington in that D line next year. Let's talk about some sack production.
Yeah. Dude, do you remember what was that movie Tropic Thunder where Robert Downey Jr. I'm just a dude next to the dude trying to be the dude.
Just the
That's
dude next to the dude.
that's pretty pretty much what you're saying. Notre Dame needs to get to, is stacking talent and depth, and that's why we said, yo, you can't, regardless of how great of coach Elko is, you can't in your third year in the maturation of this program go down and lose to Texas A&M in a
Yeah, it's
championship.
just nah,
You
bro.
just
That
you
just
can't,
doesn't fit the storyline
right? Because
because that means
you're
that
starting to
Texas
get to
A&M is
that
going to
point, right?
be
Yeah,
Texas. If they beat us, that's saying that Texas A&M is going to be a team to watch at the end of the season. That's what the storyline has to mean because we can't let them beat us the first game and then they go on to a 7-5 record like a Marshall. That's what make the Marshall stain so huge is that they were terrible after us.
yeah, they lost
They
some
were
MAC
terrible
games.
after.
Yeah, they lost. I think they went and lost to Toledo, and yeah.
So it's like, dang, it's like the ugly girl you dated and nobody let you forget it. You know, nobody let you forget. Nah, you dated that girl Crystal back then. We remember.
Yeah, yeah. Lucky podcast. So, Left, what's smoking is, like I said, the weekend. And, before we get into dynamics, we're going to watch film on Jack Lane, who Notre Dame made incredible strides with. Once again, man, this cat Joe Rudolph, man, his profile, Left. Harry would find talent. This kid is 6'8",
That
275.
Wisconsin.
This kid is out of the state of Missouri. Matter of fact, Marcus Freeman and the rest of the coaches are going to see him today as they go out on the road to recruit. 6'8", 275 right now? Bro, Joe Rudolph is going to get 6'7",
You said
6'8",
6'8"?
275 right now. Right now. The offensive lineman
6'8",
left. Look, left,
275.
left.
What? And he's a junior.
A junior. You play behind some dudes, Left. The guys that Joe Rudolph are going to get are a different level of size. Now, we'll see whether or not they can become Zach Martin, Ronnie Stanley, Quentin Nelson, so on and so forth. But from a size standpoint, Joe Rudolph is going to get some behemoths. He is literally locked in on some behemoths on the offensive line, starting with some of the young guys we're going to see coming up this season, young and inexperienced, though. So I want to talk about this because this became another debate on social media. Brady Smigel, 26 quarterback. If you want to see Left's film evaluation of Brady Smigel, you can go watch Friday's show. YouTube, subscribe, the thumbs up, smash it for us, hit the notification bell, and share the podcast.
Are they okay? Would you okay? Your opinion.
Wait.
Though,
Let me set this up. Because I will, but we're gonna watch some film on Jack Lane in a minute. Left.
because I
We
can't
gotta
get
do
over
that.
the 6'8", man.
I
I can't get.
understand. But I want to get to this because we got to go step by step. There's so much to get to from this weekend. It really is. We really have to step by step. So I want to get your opinion on this. Number one offensive linebacker. I mean, not offensive, outside linebacker. Right? Nathaniel Boateng on campus. IMG, huge, top 50 player, right?
It's got to be a lot. It's got to,
Yo,
man. We got to talk to Jeremiah Wusu.
you know where he's from. He went out into Notre Dame Stadium full of snow and did snow angels.
And
That
didn't
was
care.
another great thing.
Yeah, that's
I was
right.
like, okay. Okay. He went to the hockey game, was locked in. Loved it. Nice touch by Notre Dame, putting CJ Carr and Keedron Young on the Zambonis at the hockey game.
Yep. Put the
Very
young
nice
guys
touch.
on there. That's very smart.
Very smart, very
Get the
nice
fan
touch.
base in love with the guy with the it factor.
Absolutely.
Because they
Now,
gonna love CJ. They gonna love
he's a
CJ.
star. He's a
He's
star.
a
We've been
star.
saying
He's
he's a
just
star.
don't hide it. Don't show. You know.
But Left, tell me about this. People went crazy because Brady Smigel took a picture in Notre Dame Stadium and he had on this uniform when he did it. The white pants with the green jersey. And everybody was going crazy, like, oh, why doesn't Notre Dame wear this? See, first of all, this looks like any team that's green and white to me.
It looks like any team.
You have to do something special with the pants, whether it's the piping on the side.
Because basic doesn't look good with a basic. We're already basic.
Now the colorway, I get it. The white
we
pants,
can work with
green,
it. We can work with it. Yeah.
But there's a little more work needs to be done to make this colorway special. Now I'm on to something here. I hope this combination is coming, left. I hope this combination is coming, but it's a little more that they need to do. The shoulder area, maybe the side of the jersey, but definitely the piping or the design of the pants. You just can't have it like this. It's a good start, but they need to do more. They have to do more, in my opinion. Now we go from that to Jeremiah Owusu Boateng. If you go to the Lucky Lefty Instagram page, you will see the video that was posted by he and his family. Notre Dame did another fantastic touch. Notre Dame really did knock this weekend out of the park. And I'm not just basing it on the fact that, they didn't get any commits. It's bigger than that.
It's bigger than that.
They had this dude do a photo shoot with his brother's Buckets Award. I said,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can go see
See,
the
we
video
only
right
we can
now.
do that.
Lucky Lefty Instagram. Go ahead, Lefty.
Only we can do something like that. Come on. And then they should have had him take another one with Jalen's. Just had one on one side, one on the other side. You know, one of them. And put man ties on top.
Mm.
We don't need, see, we can win linebackers because we have the credit behind it. We got the credit behind it. Manti, Jalen Smith, Jeremiah Owusu, True Tranquil. Next question. Right? Right? All these guys are a hybrid version of the position, but you can turn on the TV on Sundays and see all these guys playing.
Mm-hmm.
Playing. Shout out Ronnie Stanley, by the way. Talked to my guy yesterday.
Notre Dame is guaranteed to have somebody in the Super Bowl.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. My left tackle from Florida and my left tackle from Notre Dame are both playing against each other this year in the AFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar, Patrick Mahomes. This is a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a win-win. Because at the end of the day, we all know one thing. That the NFL deserves a great show. I think the AFC Championship will be a better show than the Super Bowl. Because he's the best two quarterbacks, not Josh Allen's. I didn't even, you know what's so funny? I just watched it knowing he was going to lose. I watched it. I said, man, there's no way Josh Allen just got enough. I just don't think it's real.
Save that, Left, because
because I got to go in on this guy.
We're going to tap, second half of the show, we're going to tap into that. Because that cat Ryan Clark spent 2 hours a day trying to say something that he couldn't say in order to keep his job. I knew what he was trying to say.
Couldn't say what he was saying.
He couldn't say what he really was trying to say. He danced around it, boy. He NC hammered around it the entire 2 hours. And I'm like, man, just take it to the podcast. Just go to your podcast and say it, and then you might have a chance. But he was, man, Lucky Lefty podcast. So Notre Dame was very strategic. It doesn't matter if you think the Leprechauns were corny, but I think they were very strategic in the way they approached the weekend. They weren't thirsty, and that came across to many recruits. Like, dude, we're not here begging. You can go to some of these junior days and staffs are like thirsty, like, man, you should go, man. You sure you don't want to commit? You should. No, this was all about impact. Notre Dame is in a place where they have half their class committed in the month of January. Half, which is amazing because they're going to end up with 25, 26 kids in this class. So half the class is committed. Half those 12 of the 14 committed players showed up for junior day. One was coming. The flight got canceled, and the other one just couldn't come. Right? So, they're on the road now, tapping in on the kids that just left and following up with the kids that just left campus. And then on top of that, they're talking to 26 kids. Like their next quarterback was at junior day. Even though according to reports, the staff might kind of prefer, some people are saying that Ryder Lyons is number one.
On the list?
If it came down to Brady Smigel, Ryder Lyons, some people feel, I'm not saying I've heard this from the staff. I'm saying some people are reporting that Ryder Lyons might be the one
to pull the trigger.
that gets denied.
That gets denied.
If they
see, I told you I like the other kid better.
Brady Smigel is, for me, once I saw Brady Smigel's film, I was like, okay, all right, this kid is different. But like I said, it's a win-win situation with either kid. Like, flip a coin. Just flip a coin. Either way, right? Just like people said, we got to see Patrick Mahomes in the road in the playoffs. All right,
no, you
don't.
No, you don't.
You saw him.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Now what? What's the next challenge for him?
Yeah, it's nothing. It's like, listen, Patrick Mahomes, man, the way this brother got the game set up right now, you just can't bet against him. You know what I mean? You just can't bet against him. Not in no playoff situation. Regular season, okay.
I wouldn't bet against Deuce Knight. I wouldn't bet against Brady Smigel. I wouldn't bet against Ryder Lyons. And that's the level of a quarterback recruiting. Marcus Freeman, as a defensive coach, has literally changed the narrative of the quarterback room in Notre Dame.
Oh,
think
100%.
About that. We're talking about the culture that he has set up, and it's changing, and it's continuing to change. Marcus Freeman, as a defensive coach, has changed the quarterback room. Now he has to go out, develop, and get these dudes to win big games to take that next step. But as far as getting them in the building and evaluating them, he's definitely changed the game. As a defensive head coach at Notre Dame, that's a big step, left. And having Brady Smigel on campus days after you just went to watch him work out. And you weren't the only team that came. Michigan came to see him. Other schools came to see him throw the same day. And where did he choose to come? He chose to come to Notre Dame for a visit.
Yeah.
That's big. He didn't choose to come to the Midwest and say, okay, I'm going to swing by Michigan and then swing by Notre Dame. No. Brady Smigel was like, oh, man, I'm coming to Notre Dame. I'm coming to Notre Dame. But, yeah, I agree, Left. But you Deuce Knight, that's a big kid, bro.
That brother is huge, man.
That's a big kid, bro.
That brother's huge.
That's a big kid. Lucky.
Now, I don't know if it's because his people are shorter, whatever that picture he took in that green 2 jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that brother gonna be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Love. Now, with that being said, this is what's next, in my opinion. This is that next step. 25, Lucky Charms, everything. But to me, Left, this is, man, if Notre Dame wore this combination at least 4 times a year, I would go crazy, Left. Nathaniel Owusu Boateng. This is another part of his photo shoot from the weekend. This uniform here is bananas, Left.
You like the all white ones?
Oh, that uniform. It's not just because it's all white, the shoulders, what they mean, everything that they put into it, the details.
That's right.
Dude, the number 6 outline, the front of it, the outline with the blue, the type of gold that they use. Yes, that's slick. That's why I say the green and white is just not enough. You have to add the details on the shoulders and the font, and everything matters if you're gonna go green and white. There's too many other teams that are green and white. You have to set yourself apart, and this is what Nathaniel Owusu Boateng, in my opinion, Notre Dame set themselves apart in his recruiting, and doing that before he goes back to school down in Florida is very important. You have to make an impression with this kid. Look, Notre Dame has to do the most with him, Left. Remember we talked about with previous players in the 24 class, Notre Dame was unwilling to do what other programs are willing to do to get certain kids. Notre Dame, in my opinion, showed me they were willing to do the most with this kid this weekend.
The most.
Whatever connections you have, whether it's his brother, the Buckets Award, Lucky Charms, they put him in this uniform, Left.
Yeah.
Like, let's give him the best uniform. Let's give him the best photo shoot. Deuce Knight took a picture with his mom and his family. He's
The
locked
Lucky
in.
Charms, though,
The Lucky
man,
Charms behind this kid doing snow angels, like the culture, the things that they created to make him feel special. That's what this weekend was all about with Nathaniel Owusu Boateng. And they
that's what
knocked
it
it out the
was.
park. This is what you have to do for top 50 borderline five-star players, the number one outside linebacker. You have to go above and beyond with these types, man. All recruits and all recruiting is not the same, left. It's not. You're going to get certain kids that just love Notre Dame and they're going to lock in with Notre Dame. With kids like Nathaniel Owusu Boateng, even with the connection of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, you still have to be willing to go over the top to make this young man feel special. Notre Dame did that this weekend in multiple ways. And you have to love that, love.
You definitely have to love it, and the attention to detail is what's going to win at the end of the day. And Notre Dame has found its niche. That's what it's about, finding a niche.
Man, if they stack him on top of Kingston and the talent they have at linebacker, those are two positions that the narrative and consistency had dropped off, that Marcus Freeman has changed. He's changed and upgraded the talent in the quarterback room, and he's done it in the linebacker room, whether as defensive coordinator or as head coach. Jack Lang came in. I wouldn't say he was in the best spot with Notre Dame, right? Notre Dame had to do some work. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did, right? Great work. Notre Dame, if they're not the leader, I would never say they're the clear-cut leader, but Notre Dame, as I said, Marcus Freeman and the rest of the staff, Joe Rudolph will be checking in with the kid as they recruit in the deep heart of the Midwest, the Kansas area, the Missouri area, and the St. Louis area today. It's very important that they have a chance to really solidify and seal the progress they made this weekend, right?
Yes.
Can we talk about two Indiana kids before we get to Jack Lane? Damian Shanklin, man, I have to. Al Washington, my dude, the job you have done with Chris Burgess, and man, what I think is going to be the bookends of this class defensively, because eventually I feel like Damian Shanklin eventually out of Indianapolis, Warren Central ends up at Notre Dame. Some people felt like, commit watch could be possible this weekend. Notre Dame is doing a fantastic job with this kid. They're doing a fantastic job. And Notre
Yep.
Dame is in a place where they have to get in early on these kids and they have to put a fence around Indiana and Chicago. You have to, especially for the best players. But what they continue to do with Damian Shanklin, who's another, you see this kid up close and personal, you're like, oh, dude, this is the length, the size, the girth. Same thing with Chris Burgess. Like he is just he took a picture next to Marquise Lightfoot out of Chicago, Kenwood, who's going to Miami, and he made Marquise Lightfoot look small. And it's like this kid still has more a body to grow into. Look, man, Al Washington is doing his thing. Al Washington is doing his thing. I've been critical of Al Washington. Um, he's
And
doing
what you
his
can
thing.
appreciate about Al Washington is the growth. Because Al Washington went through a period of learning.
Mm,
Remember Marcus Freeman's first day? Hey, Al Washington, get in front of them cameras, get on recruiting.
yeah,
And then he
yeah,
dropped the ball. Didn't recruit hard enough, didn't know the flow of it. And to see a year three, Al Washington take the next step and be better, just shows that Marcus Freeman builds a good staff. Builds a good staff. Even the coaches have development. Coaching development.
yeah.
Everybody's getting developed at Notre Dame.
And that is Mark Zachary, another kid that most people really didn't know about. And all of a sudden, Mike Mickens jumps on the kid, right? Has been building a relationship with the kid. And Notre Dame, certain people have already crystal balled Mark Zachary out of Ben Davis. They just won a state championship out of Indianapolis. Yo, once again, going to Indianapolis and getting the best players in probably the most fertile metropolitan area for high school football in the state of Indiana. This is it's like recruiting 101, right, left? Like, okay, dude, this is where the most talent is, the biggest metropolitan
Yeah, Ben
area for
Davis
high
like
school
the best
talent,
school in Indiana.
best school in
You know.
Indiana. Yeah, recruit their best players. I mean, it should literally be recruiting 101.
And then go
And
down
yo,
to others, and then go down to Sheldon School at Warren, and then go to Mount Carmel, and then you done hit the best.
yeah,
And Drake Bowen School. That's no Drake Bowen's a transplant. So.
yeah, yeah. But we've seen Notre Dame historically, like someone in the chat said, too. I mean, look, Jalen, Drew Tranquil, they hit up Fort Wayne. But
Fort
these
Wayne, Tyler Eifert.
Tyler Eifert, absolutely. That dude, if there's a player in the state of Indiana, Notre Dame has to get him. Dude, go get the kid. Go get the kid.
Hell, Nick and Zach Martin from Indiana, ain't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nick and Zach Martin. Think about two Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Go lock them up. Lucky Lefty podcast. Notre Dame with the in-state talent. Once again, is right there on the cusp, in my opinion, with both of those players. Right? Like any day, anytime, a commitment could possibly be right there, but they have to continue to work. They have to continue to work, man. Work and dominate. And when you start doing that, think about the combination of Mark Zachary and Damian Shanklin coming from Indianapolis, what that says to the 26 kids in Indianapolis and the 27 kids in Indianapolis. You're setting the tone. You're setting the standard. Like, oh, our boys are at Notre Dame. You're setting the standard. Chris Burgess could be setting the standard for public league kids in the city of Chicago for the next 2 to 3 years, and even Catholic league kids, right? Set the standard. Taylor has to be watching this, who, by the way, I talked to his mom this weekend. She wasn't able to make it down. She had a wedding to go to. But let me tell you, I'm going to talk to this young man this weekend and really dig in. I'm going to really dig in. I'm going to ask him, what's up with Michigan? What's up with Kevin Beard in Miami? Like, what's up? Previous relationship. Mike Brown started recruiting Taylor when he was a coach at Cincinnati before he went to Wisconsin. And he continued to recruit the kid while he was at Wisconsin. This is why no one heard about Taylor, and all of a sudden, the night before, reports come out that Taylor is taking a visit to South Bend again for Junior Day. That's huge. That's huge. Should we read into that? You're darn right. Because it tells you something about the respect that he has for Mike Brown and the previous relationship that has been established. That's what it tells you, ladies and gentlemen. For this kid to say, okay, the guy that was recruiting me, that I had a good relationship with, is no longer there. Let me take a step back. Great hire with Mike Brown by Marcus Freeman. Previous relationship already set up with Taylor. And just like that, bam, I'm coming. He comes down, fantastic weekend. His mom said, yo, Notre Dame did a fantastic job. My son has been talking about it ever since he got back. And I'm going to have a chance to talk to him and dig a little bit deeper later in the week to talk about his recruiting and his relationship with Mike Brown. But that's another home run. Getting him to come, him having a fantastic time, and the pre-existing relationship he has with Mike Brown. Absolutely fantastic. Goes into what we said about this being a home run weekend for Notre Dame. Joe Rudolph, the profile. Owen Stribick, once again, his sixth visit. His sixth visit, yes, to Notre Dame. Deuce Knight never left his side. Him and Deuce Knight, according to reports, were inseparable. Deuce Knight stayed in his ear. And Owen Stribick is another one of those kids that's The big profile for Joe Rudolph, 6'7", 290. Man,
Six
you have
seven two ninety. My
left.
goodness.
Man, I don't know where these kids. I don't know what farm they're getting these kids off of, dude. Dude, these offensive linemen are built differently, bro. 6'7", 290 used to be the NFL profile like 15 years ago, left. You remember that? That was like an NFL offensive lineman like 10, 15 years ago. And now this is like a sophomore, junior in high school.
Can he move though?
Well, oh, Owen Stribick, absolutely. We already did his film evaluation. We did
Oh,
his,
okay.
yeah, we
I
did his
remember.
film evaluation. Like athleticism is never the problem with this
Yeah.
kid. He's
Especially if you
perfect
can
for what,
appreciate them kids, man. Especially if you
per,
playing a couple sports.
yeah, perfect for what Joe Rudolph likes to do, getting his offensive lineman out of space, pulling, all of that. But I want to talk about Alex Langler, 6'8", 275, Eureka High School, Eureka, Missouri, bro. Notre Dame, they got this young man on campus, and they knew they had some work to do. They knew they had some work to do. Whatever they needed to do with this young man to assure him that he's a must take, and Notre Dame is the right place to develop him and get him to where he wants to be, man, it happened. And they're going to see him today as they go out on the road. Let's watch his film, left. Eureka High School, Jack Lane, 4-star. He has a mean side to him when I watch him, left.
Yeah, that's the first thing you look for is the meanness. Especially for a guy that's gonna come in and have some impact early. He's gotta be unapologetic in the way he attacks the line of scrimmage and moves the guy off the football. That's just effort and attitude. When you can put the size with an effort and attitude like that, it's something you can work with. It's a Quinn Nelson type of build.
Mm.
So to see a guy firing off and have bad intentions, that's a good start. Now, can he double and get to the next level and all of that? We'll work on that. But right now, from dominating the guy in front of him, he's really, really good at it. And he
And
keeps his
left.
feet moving. Good grief.
Yes, yes.
This looks
And
like he's on a sled or something. You know them little sleds? He just driving the sled, driving the sled.
absolutely, man. And he's the type of kid where, you got Charles Jagsaw in place. Stribick is probably going to be your left tackle or right tackle. But this kid is like low key underrated athleticism. Like when you just watch him and his nastiness is what you see. Dude, he's not dancing with blockers, left.
No,
He's
no,
putting
no,
it
no.
on their back.
Yeah,
Every snap,
yeah.
he's like, yo, I'm trying to put somebody on their back.
And this definitely is a lineman that fits the Marcus Freeman mold of being physical and being a vertical offense. We're running forward. He's gonna put his hand in there to move somebody off the line. And this is what helps that offensive line narrative that we are strong up front.
Yeah.
Just the way he's attacking, he's not letting leverage go, and he's taking guys out of the play.
Mm.
Guys aren't falling around near the guy ball carrier, getting when he's not looking. He's taking guys out of the box. Just get out of here. I'm eliminating one. Right? Holes you can drive trucks through. So perfect addition to what we're doing, and it in the size as what what Joe Rudolph brings to Notre Dame, and that's size. Size.
Man.
We get the technical and the fundamental guys, but Joe Rudolph is bringing the size to Notre Dame.
Like you said, man, Notre Dame already proves that they can develop the technical side of offensive linemen. And now you start upping the size and strength of the offensive line. That's where it shows up in big games, love. Because it's cool to be technical, but in big games, you're going to be going against guys that are just as big as you, just as athletic. But if you can up the profile from a size standpoint, keep that athleticism and keep that technical side, along with the running back room being what it is, and the quarterback room being upgraded, you're changing the culture at Notre Dame offensively. Step by step, Notre Dame fans. Step by step. We all want it to happen overnight, but step by step, They're doing what's necessary to change how Notre Dame operates in big games against big opponents offensively.
That's right. And as long as we see it at incremental moments and not just overhauls, then I think Marcus Freeman has the idea of what he wants in a clear vision.
Once again, Eureka High School, Eureka, Missouri, Jack Lang, 4-star offensive lineman. He can play inside, he can play outside. His nastiness allows him to play guard. Like, dude, he's so nasty at guard. I do not want to utter the name because most people are like, come on, Sean. Yeah, I don't want to say Quentin Nelson. I don't. I'm not trying to compare him to that. But yo, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Lucky Lefty podcast. Oh, and Stribic, as I said, 6-time with man. And great trip. Great trip. That's a lot. Elijah Burris. Talked to Ryan Roberts, Elijah Burris' son, and Plaxico Burris. Great trip. He was just shocked that Notre Dame offered him. That was from his mouth. Like, yo, when I got the offer, it was like a huge surprise. Once again, Mike Brown. Kudos, my man. Sean Terry II. We did his film evaluation out of Ironton, Ohio, left down there by the Cincinnati area, or close to the border. He got his offer officially this weekend. Super excited. Talked to him a little bit. He's amped. Just absolutely amped about the possibility of Notre Dame wanting him. And all these kids are like high 3, borderline 4-star that could possibly take that next step, you know, when they go to these camps over the summer and the spring. Notre Dame is jumping. And see, ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to see is a lot of the kids that Notre Dame are tapped into right now. You're going to see Georgia come in late. You're going to see Alabama come in late. You're going to see Ohio State come in late, which to me shows that from an evaluation standpoint, Notre Dame is putting together a staff, a support staff, a suggestion staff that's locking in certain players to coordinators. Coordinators are doing their due diligence, and then they're identifying, yo, we need to get this kid. We need to go and get this kid because he's really good. That's what we're seeing, especially at the wide receiver position with these new offers with Burris, Terry. Yo, you have to love where Notre Dame is going with the wide receiver room, which to most people was the biggest question of the 25 class because they haven't really had anybody to go ahead and commit. And they will
Right.
work. Yeah.
Right.
But yo, Les, the only other thing I'll say from this weekend is that Golden Thomas, another young man, they knocked it out the park, left. They flat out knocked out, dude. The visit couldn't have gone any better. I'm going to say this right now, left. Did I say Golden Thomas? Dallas Golden. I'm sorry. Dallas Golden. I don't know who I was thinking about. Dallas Golden. He came for his visit. Notre Dame knocked it out the park, left. They flat out knocked it out the park, man. This staff was tremendous, man. I care less about shamrock suits, leprechaun suits, but not, dude. The culture they created this weekend was absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. Dallas
Step in the right
Golden.
direction.
Yo, it's several people. He's been crystal ball to Notre Dame. Ryan Roberts reported, man, it be safe to say that Notre Dame is the clear-cut leader. Clear-cut leader for this young man. And he is a tremendous get out of the South. We are critical of coaches, right? For a long time, not from a coaching standpoint. Chris O'Leary has proved he can coach and develop. at
Yeah.
safety.
Oh, absolutely.
The main question was recruiting for Chris O'Leary, right? Because he's had guys committed, hasn't been able to keep them, right? So it's not the point that he couldn't get big time guys to come visit Notre Dame and all of that. But you have to be able to seal the deal, and it's going to be retention is going to be huge. But what this is Chris O'Leary's shining moment. This is his hour. The hour has come in the 25 class, and that young, hey, yo, we know he can coach and develop, but this is his opportunity. This is his opportunity to prove I've taken it to the next level in evaluation and recruiting. And he went a long way. The Notre Dame staff went a long way with Dallas Golden this weekend, who they think can play corner, slot. They can put him at safety. He can be a chess piece. Remember, we did that show talking about recruiting chess pieces at Notre Dame?
That's right.
Getting chess pieces, man, offensively and defensively, where every week somebody has to worry about this guy when they game plan. Dallas Golden is a guy that every week teams would have to worry about when it comes to game planning. And Notre Dame, right now, is perceived as possibly being a leader for the services of one Dallas Golden. And that's huge. And another reason why Notre Dame did a fantastic job with this junior day this weekend.
And that's what you want to hear, man, especially if we're taking care of things in terms of the housekeeping. These are housekeeping items that Marcus Freeman is continuing to show why it's a 24-hour, 365 job that leads into moments like these coaching moments he's been having.
And I'll say this, man. You might have lost. He's out of Berkeley Prep, same school as current players in the Notre Dame football program and baseball program. So he has people that he knows at Notre Dame. That means something. We're talking about a kid leaving Florida, coming to South Bend. That means something. Don't forget, as he's playing, who is he looking up to in his high school program? He's looking up to Keon Keeley. Keon Keeley is that dude as he's coming up in the Berkeley Prep program. And he sees the great relationship. And even with Keon Keeley going to Alabama, he still spoke highly about Notre Dame and their staff. Even after he decommitted, he spoke highly about the program. Those are the types of things that we pointed out with Damian Shanklin, Mark Zachary in Indianapolis, and building and planting the flag. Chris Burgess, what he means, planting the flag, what the recruitment of Malik Elzy the year before, and how he felt about the Notre Dame staff, and what his coaches felt about Notre Dame, how that impacted Chris Burgess, because Chris Burgess is watching Malik Elzy. All these things matter, man. Recruiting is just not black and white. It really is line upon line, precept upon precept, if you allow me to use that from scripture. It is brick by brick, mortar by mortar. Dude, it is step by step. Elevate the program and get to that place that you talked about where you replace and reload. Notre Dame is starting to get to that point, especially at certain positions where they're replacing and reloading. You start adding Shanklin and Burgess, and then start adding other players. You get Sean Sevillano Jr., and then you go and get Davion Dixon. Man, you're starting to get to that level, and you're starting to see what Notre Dame can do from a recruiting standpoint, especially with Marcus Freeman finally having the staff that he wants. Emphasis on the word he.
That's right.
Finally having the coaches that he wants on staff. It is it's trending very positively for Notre Dame in recruiting, Lefty. Very positive.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that you can count on is that these positive trends are going to lead to what we believe is the national championship. But it's just going to look different because now we're taking the approach of this is going to be built for a long-term type of situation. This is not something that's a flash in the pan. You're going to see a class that develops and a class that gets better recruiting-wise. We're not just recruiting the best players. Every class is specific to a piece of what Marcus Freeman has been convincing us that he's building.
Yeah, love. The only look. Someone in the chat just said, "Yo, consecutive top 10 classes." I agree. The chess pieces are what's going to take it over the top. Keon Keeley was a chess piece. The dude that eventually, because I'm not going to utter his name. The dude that landed at Oklahoma, he was a chess piece. Carnell Tate, possible chess piece. That's what's been missing from the class. You know, we want CJ Carr to be that chess piece. We'll see. The floor is his. The floor is his. Could Kenny Minchie be a chess piece? We look at Deuce Knight and we both shake our heads just from a physical standpoint, like
physical, like he's got to be something. Cause like, good grief.
Chess pieces. This is what we're talking about. Damian Shanklin, Christopher Burgess Jr. Chess pieces. Like this is the difference to take Notre Dame to the next level in recruiting. We think that can happen. We think that can happen. Lucky Lefty podcast. When we come back, we'll talk about fandom. We'll talk about fandom as it relates to Notre Dame, and we'll get into quarterback play as it relates to Notre Dame. And then I want to know, is it shady to grow up somewhere and be a fan of a team other than your hometown team? Maybe like being a Jacksonville Jaguars fan when you grew up in Dayton. We'll talk about it. Lucky Lefty podcast. We'll talk about it. We're back. Honora Boys, Lucky Lefty podcast. YouTube, subscribe, share, thumbs up, smash it for us. Man, you already know we spin it different. Audio edibles each and every day. Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Man, that's how we do it. It's the Lucky Lefty podcast. We spin it different. Man, let me tell you something, Left. You know, sibling rivalries, marital rivalries, it all comes to a head when it seems like college football playoffs, NFL playoffs, Super Bowl. It's absolutely amazing, man, how, you know, the people you love can just become enemies, man. And then I saw this video, and I want you to check it out, Left. This video was created right after the Detroit Lions defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-23 to make it to the NFC Championship game to take on Brock Mid-Purdy. You heard it here first. Brock Mid-Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers. Check it out, Left.
We going to the Super Bowl, baby. I just got home. We're a house divided. Jamel originally from Detroit, but she a San Francisco fan, so this weak ass bullshit. Look at this shit she got it. Let me let her know what time it is right off top, because I ain't playing. House divided, baby, all week. Let her know that I ain't playing. This how I'm starting off. I just came in the house. She gonna try to say, hey, babe, kiss me. No, don't kiss me. No, we ain't on the same team or nothing. You already know what time it is, Jamel. You know what time it is. This shit going in the fucking garbage. What you playing?
That's right.
Hey, put that in the garbage. Put it in the can. Put it in the can. That's how y'all garbage. Y'all trash. We about to pop y'all next week.
Please, everyone, remember and like this video because
Robert.
I'm just saying.
What is this? What is this?
Hey, somebody who
What
took
is
us to the
that?
Super Bowl.
What is that?
Y'all wouldn't know nothing about it. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about it.
This Brock Purdy twin brother right here.
That's right.
First of all, I'm deducting points for Jamel Hill actually purchasing a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey.
Yeah, that's tough.
Out of all the
That's
San
tough.
Francisco jerseys you can purchase,
Out of all of them.
you purchased a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey. I'm deducting points.
Because now I got to doubt your fandom.
Oh,
you ain't a real fan of the 49ers getting a Jimmy jersey.
No.
Come on now.
No, that's like me purchasing a Mitch Trubisky jersey years ago. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
no
Oh,
way.
perfect example.
There was
Perfect
no
example. You're not
way.
a Bears fan, first of all.
I'm not purchasing a Mitch jersey. No, no, I don't care what the experts say. HE double hockey stick, no, it's not happening. Secondly, I love it. Ian Wallace, Jamel Hill, Ian Wallace, husband and wife. They both grew up in the Detroit area. They both went to Michigan State. Jamel Hill somehow, someway is a San Francisco 49ers fan. Go
Somehow,
figure.
some way.
She was on social media sticking up for Brock Purdy all Saturday night. Oh, yeah, but he came back and got the win. He stunk Saturday night. Once again, against top competition, Brock Purdy stinks. And when Debo went out with injury, he stunk even more. And the throw to Jennings on that last drive was so lucky. So lucky. Because he didn't see the safety coming down to cover the middle of the field. And he just threw it high enough. If it was an inch or two lower, that's a pick into the game. So he got lucky on that. Not mad. You make the plays. He made the plays. Josh Allen didn't. That's really what you can say. Brock Purdy made the play. Josh Allen didn't. That's the
Actually,
fragility. That's the fragility of football, Left. That's what this weekend taught me. When you have good teams playing football, the fragility of the game itself, when it comes to who wins and who loses, is inches, moments, one call, one missed opportunity. It really is that narrow, Left. It really is. And Notre Dame has to be able to get to that point. There are multiple. You could take the Louisville game. You can take the Clemson game. As much as we can sit here and say 10 didn't play to the best of his ability against Ohio State, Clemson, other games. He had moments in all of those games where even in the midst of not playing well, where if he makes the play or plays, the outcome of the game or games could have been totally different. And that's quarterbacking. And that is, unfortunately, Left says it's fair. Because I say it's unfair, dude, because that's just tough. That's the situation that Riley Leonard is stepping into. That's flat out. Hey, Notre Dame is going to be in games against good teams. Can you come in, Riley Leonard, and are you able to make those one or two plays in those games to make the difference? It doesn't mean that you won the game. It doesn't mean that you're the reason that Notre Dame lost. We can go down the pecking order and find certain things that happens in every position room in several games that led to Notre Dame not getting the outcome that they wanted to get. But ladies and gentlemen, with everything, I literally watched the worldwide leader in sports use 70% of a show, a morning show, talking about Josh Allen, and he lost. The other quarterback was told all season, Left, correct me, all season, yo, something's wrong with him.
that's right.
Look at this season when he doesn't have talent. Look what happens. All I know is that dude is in his 6th consecutive AFC championship. He has never played a season where he did not play for the Super Bowl. Ever. Ever. And
That's
in the
true.
season where he had 2 terrible tackles protecting him and his worst wide receiving core and an aging tight end, Hall of Famer, aging tight end who stepped up, by the way. Once again, greatness in the biggest moments makes plays. So as bad as much as people wanted to ride, pause, or critique Travis Kelce all year and talk about Taylor Swift, Taylor Smith being in the building didn't matter. It was a big moment, and Travis Kelce showed up for his boy.
That's all that matters.
Travis Kelce showed up for his boy. That's great. And that's, in my opinion, Left, that's what's holding Notre Dame back. Notre Dame can compete. Well, they can compete with Georgia. They've shown that. They can compete on the field with Ohio State. They've shown that.
We've shown that. We can compete with anybody.
Where are the players that in the moments are going to make the plays? That's greatness, Left. That's greatness. That's the pixie dust that Notre Dame has been missing. And for me, watching them recruit in 24 and 25, Left, you pointed this out. You said Notre Dame seems to be going out and getting football players, guys that play multiple positions, that make an impact in multiple ways. They seem to be focusing on that. Like, we need to get guys that can be chess pieces, that can be difference makers in the clutch. That right there, Left, I watched this weekend, partner with what Notre Dame was doing on the recruiting side during the Junior Day weekend. Man, I was like, okay, we have to see it on the field, but it seems like Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame are making strides to becoming a winning program. And that's great to hear. And I'm not talking about a winning program in the form of Mike McCarthy, where you can't win playoff games, but yet and still you're talking about you created a winning program, which was laughable when he said it. But absolutely, it's great to hear and great to see these two things coming together, Left. It made me very happy. And now I open up the furthering of these services for one MALIK ZAIRE to do something he's been waiting. Lucky Lefty fans, this is one of the greatest days. Left had a smile when he woke up this morning. He had a smile at about 9:00 p.m. Eastern time last night. That continued throughout the night. He probably was smiling in his sleep. He's been dreaming about this moment. Left, take the floor, because I'm sure you want to say some things about number 17, Josh Allen, bro.
Man, first of all, I got to check the Ryan Clark sentiments, because they probably mirror a lot of what I probably was going to say. But I just don't like how they don't acknowledge both sides. How many times do you have to see it before you just put it in the category of a guy that just has a high ceiling, a lot of potential, but doesn't have the it factor to do it? And what's funny is that we're giving credit to being close, to almost. But that's not getting it done. The same things that we criticize others for, we highlight for guys that don't deserve it. I'm just saying, Patrick Mahomes probably feels the same way I do. Why is this a rivalry? Why did they show before the game the Peyton and Tom Brady clips of them meeting in a classic rivalry and try to transition like this was the next one? Hell, Peyton won sometimes. At least Peyton can say I beat him sometimes. Patrick Mahomes 3-0. What Rice say? Rice say, what you tell me? What that mean? He 3-0. Josh not better. So no, this isn't a rivalry. I think Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes is a rivalry. I think that's the matchup we should look for. I think Lamar and Patrick Mahomes can be something. But this Josh Allen talk, listen, if I was a betting man, I'd be a rich man. Because I told people the day before, I spoke it in the prophecy. I said, they going down. They going down. I don't care if it's home away, on Mars, the moon, in the ocean, in Dubai, in my backyard. Josh Allen just doesn't have enough of what it takes because the mistakes are too big in the wrong moments. That's it. Yeah, you got some highlight plays, this and that, this and that, this and that. But man, let's be honest. You throw too many picks. You don't make the right plays. In my opinion, how are you different than Jameis Winston? Jameis Winston just don't get a chance. But the same problems he got, you got. You just get more chances to put it out there. So I think that, yeah, the window has closed for Buffalo because the team is probably upset. The team, like, man, we want something different. We can't get over the hump, and we in statistically been in every top category. But it all goes back to what Cat Williams always talked about in the Shay Shay Club interview. You cannot short the process. Stephon Diggs told you. He don't go home and live this life of a football player that's maniacal like a Patrick Mahomes does, like a Tom Brady does. He just go home and live his life. The work is always going to show. If you are relying on just talent and highlights and being on a good team, just like Notre Dame, in those big moments, you're going to have to go to what the process is giving you. If you haven't earned it through the process, you're not going to reap the rewards. Because it comes down to one or two plays. That's the one or two plays you didn't study. Because the practice script runs out at a certain point in every game. You know, you got your first 15 plays, you script. That's the first 15 plays you rep all week. You might go back to some during the game. But after they done seen them all, it's time to play. Now we gotta go on the measure of skill. What skill is better? But situational football comes down to the man that's most prepared every time. And Josh Allen is not the man most prepared in situational football. That's why you see more highlights than anything. The reason why you don't see Lamar having the highlights because Lamar is playing intentionally. Lamar is developing his game. That's why you don't see all the super all-star runs like he had as a rookie. Because he gets those highlights off of off-script plays, off of him forcing the issue. Now Lamar back there dealing, throwing it, running when he got to, making it look easy because he's developed his game. Josh Allen is still living off of year one making highlights. That doesn't win. That's why people hate on Lamar so much, but they can't disrespect the fact that he's developed a passing game. He whooping teams running and throwing. They can't even harp on his highlights running because he just runs safe, gets down, and every time he runs, it's just electric because it's who he is. But he be dicing people up throwing the football too. Dicing them up. No, Josh Allen can't be consistent because he's so focused on forcing the issue. But when the game's on the line, you can't force it. You got to be the most prepared. You got to be the most developed. Because teams are only going to go to what you can't do. They're like, okay, we can survive off of you just hitting wild shots. Like Steph Curry. Steph Curry, some shots he going to hit. Ain't no defense in the world going to stop it.
Yeah.
There's some things Josh Allen do, ain't defenses in the world can stop it. But those run out. You only got so many in the chamber. But in the playoff game, that matters. with an equalizer on the other side, it comes down to being prepared. It's not about wow moments. When Lamar was sealing the game this weekend, he was making easy plays to seal the game. He wasn't just juking the whole team and making 50 dudes miss. No, it's just running the offense, using his ability to get the first or whatever. And I mean, it was just beautiful. So the difference between Lamar and Josh is that Josh has never developed. So stop hyping him. Josh Allen isn't giving what you guys are giving him. Y'all giving him way too much credit.
So you think Josh Allen is an incredible physical specimen and talent. Arm, bazooka, right? The throw to Stephon Diggs that Stephon Diggs couldn't come down with Stephon Diggs, you would go to the petty train. Because you drop the ball and you turn around and do this. Like, oh, it was just off. No, catch the ball. Catch the ball. I don't put that on Josh Allen, but I'll say this, because people are focusing on, like, left, I thought the football gods were going to smile down on Josh Allen. Because on the last drive, Josh Allen showed up. The good Josh Allen and the bad Josh Allen. Because early in that same drive left, he throws a ball out to his right. And if Trent McDuffie doesn't tip it, Snead has a walk-in pick six. Because it was a horrible throw. And Snead is sitting there just jumping up and down like, dude, let it go. And McDuffie's like, man, how am I supposed to know? I'm going for the ball too. If McDuffie doesn't touch it, Snead catches it, ball game is over, pick six. Josh Allen narrative continues. Plays later, he's scrambling. Chris Jones comes from behind, makes a fantastic play. Pulls him down, and with his left hand, knocks the ball out. Josh Allen, once again, reckless with the football. Bad Josh Allen shows up. Chris Jones can't recover it. Kansas City player, instead of falling on the ball, tries to scoop and score. Buffalo offensive lineman ends up recovering the ball. Drive continues. The football gods are smiling on Josh Allen. I'm like, Buffalo's about to win this thing. Josh Allen on third down has a post route. Man, great pass rush. Dawkins steps on his foot. That's on Josh Allen. Move in the pocket. Give yourself an extra second. Let the ball go. The opportunity is right there for you. You didn't take it. The next play, that's second down. Third down, couldn't make the play. Josh Allen, you left it up to your field goal kicker. We know how fickle field goal kickers are in history, especially from 40-plus yards, 44 or 47 yards, whether it's Norwood or Bass. We know wide right, once again, for Buffalo, it's infamous. We know this. But Josh Allen, you had the opportunity to make the plays. You didn't make them. You didn't make the plays. That's it. And honestly, whether it's Riley Leonard, Steve Angeli, or Kenny Mitchell, or CJ Carr, one of those guys is going to have to make the plays this year for Notre Dame. Moments and times, late in games, regardless of how the defensive line is played, regardless of how many times the wide receivers couldn't get separation, all of that, all the stuff we hear, the offensive line hasn't been perfect today. They haven't protected. They haven't been able to run the ball the way they need to run the ball. With all of that being said, per usual, Notre Dame is going to be in the game against a good team, and there's going to be a big moment. Who on the roster is going to be that guy or those guys that make the play? Which wide receiver is going to come up big? I don't care if it's Chris Mitchell. I don't care if it's Jordan Faison. I don't care if it's Jaden Thomas. I don't care if it's Cam Williams. I don't care if it's Logan Saldate. I don't care what class they are. I don't care. I don't care how small they are, how tall they are. I don't care. Who's going to be the guy? I don't care if it's Riley Leonard. I don't care if it's Kenny Minchie. I don't care if it's Steve Angeli or CJ Carr. Who's going to be the guy? Who? That is the question. It's not a question of whether or not Notre Dame is going to be a good team. 9 wins his first year, 10 wins the second year. The next step, 11, 12, perfect regular season, whatever, but it's all about the playoffs. It's all about the playoffs. There's no more pressure to go perfect to get an opportunity. That pressure no longer exists. Notre Dame can be like everybody else and build their team for December. But who are going to be the guys? Because Notre Dame fans, just like Josh Allen, the ESPN show this morning, I'm sick of the excuses for Josh Allen. Sick of them. Sick of them. And Notre Dame fans, I'm sure we're sick of the excuses that leads us to 2024. And the only thing we hold on to is 1988. Since then, it's been excuse after excuse after excuse. Now is the time. Now is the time. It's been built piece by piece, brick by brick. The culture has been changed. The quarterback room has been changed. The talent has been upgraded in every position room. Now is the time. Somebody. Coaches can only get you to a certain point. Yes, we asked Jack Swarbrick and the administration to invest, change the way you approach transfers, NIL. They've done some of that. Word is they're going to reward the coaching staff for some of the things I'm hearing. That's taking a step up with salaries to make Notre Dame more attractive to the best coaches in America. Things are happening. Things are going in the right direction. But ultimately, it comes down to what happens in between the lines. So those young men, those 18 to 22-year-olds, or even older, who is going to step up and be the guy in the biggest moments? Who? Ladies and gentlemen, that is the ultimate question. Because I don't want to wake up next December with another list of excuses like it seems every January, with a long list of excuses for Josh Allen and why he's not able to get the job done. Joe Burrow walked into your crib, opened your refrigerator, sat at the dinner table, and ate a feast. Pat Mahomes, with his worst cast of characters surrounding him, walked into your building in his first true test on the road and took your lunch and your lunch money for the rest of the week. Notre Dame should be at the point now where the Marshalls and the Stanfords can no longer walk into South Bend, Indiana and come away with a win. Those days should be over. Opportunities with Ohio State on the hook with a chance to change the narrative about your program. Can't lose those. Those opportunities cannot go by the wayside anymore. We are entering into a no excuse era of the Marcus Freeman era.
That's it.
We are getting to that point. We understood what he took over. We understood what he was trying to build and what it was going to take to build it. But we are getting to the point where it's like, all right, you go to College Station in August, there's no excuses. Get the dub. Get the dub. I don't care how tough it is. Get the dub. Louisville comes to town. Smash them. I don't even want it to be close, Left. Smash those dudes. I don't care how many Alabama transfers and portal guys that Mike Norvell and Florida State get. The quarterback is DJ Uiagalelei. That's the quarterback. When they come a calling in November, smash that dude. Smash him. He's been to South Bend twice. Guess what's happened both times? Notre Dame smacked him as a quarterback. Smash him. And finally, USC to end the season. Man, look, treat them like we've been treating them, minus the Caleb Williams Heisman year. Cam Hart told you, we don't even consider them a rival anymore, the way we've been physically beating up on them. Moments and the playoffs. That's what the 2024 season is going to be about for Notre Dame. Big moments and moments in the playoffs. That's what it's all about. Is it unfair that whoever is at the helm at quarterback, is it unfair that that's the weight of donning that gold helmet as the quarterback at the University of Notre Dame? It is what it is. It is what it is. It's like Mission Impossible. You don't have to accept the assignment. People forget that. That's a choice that's given with the assignment in Mission Impossible movies. If you choose to accept this assignment, Riley Leonard made the choice. Kenny Minchie made the choice. Steve Angeli made the choice. CJ Carr made the choice. Deuce Knight has made the choice in the future. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. The pressure is what it is. The expectations are what they are. And it's been since 1988. I don't know what else to tell you. Go make plays. Go be the difference. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Go make the plays. Lucky Lefty podcast, man. It was a great weekend of football. That span from mid-second quarter, and I tweeted this out, I tweeted this out yesterday.
That's right.
Mid-second quarter into the third quarter was some of the best football I had seen all year between the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. It was like, oh man, the offense, dude. Joe Brady was in his bag. Andy Reid was in his bag. Both quarterbacks were making plays. Valdez-Scanlon was catching balls yesterday, left. Travis Kelce was being himself. It was just, Kincaid was fantastic. Dude, Cook was running the ball hard. Isaiah Pacheco running like he's stolen something, being chased by the police every single time. Hey, man, let me tell you something. The last two runs of the game for Isaiah Pacheco to close Buffalo out, man, woo, you talking about a dude that just said, give me the ball, I'll get this first down and end it. That was just some great football, man. Some great football. But I absolutely thought I thought they were about to go up by what? 10? With about 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Hardman fumbles on the 1. I'm definitely saying to myself, the football gods are smiling down on Josh Allen today. And Pat still walked away with the win, left. He still walked away with the win. It's the way I used to look with Brady games, where I knew teams had Tom Brady. I knew Tom Brady hadn't played his best. And I'm like, oh, man, the Patriots are going down. And somehow, some way, Notre Dame is probably going to have a couple of those moments and need a couple of those performances where they're not going to play their best. Things haven't gone their way. But they still, look, Riley Leonard, Chris Mitchell, somebody has to make a play.
Somebody
Somebody has to make a play. Because
That's what.
everything's not going to be perfect, man. Everything's not going to be perfect, left.
But that's what the 2 million was for. That's what the transfer hype and news and recruitment news is for. Is the fact that we got guys that are our moment guys. We don't need guys to get us 10 wins in the season. We need guys that when we get those 10 wins and when we end these games of expectation, that can change the narrative of the Notre Dame program. That's where you guys come in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a transfer comes in, especially the ones that we've made pertaining to offense. We've got guys that are like, okay, when in doubt, it's time to show why you got here. And Sam is a prime example because it was more specific because it was straight up 3 games. The table set. We can
Mm-hmm.
compete with these 3 teams, no problem. We just need somebody that's gonna cut the turkey first. Who get the big piece of chicken? Because everybody's good with a wing, a leg, some dark meat. But who gonna get the big piece of chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody seems to finish the plate.
The big piece of
Sam.
chicken or 2 pork chops. You know, pork chops used to come in a 6-pack,
That's
and
right.
it was 5 of us
That's right.
originally. Right, my mom had 3 boys first before she had the twin girl. Right, that's 5. Mom, dad, 3 boys. That's 5 pork chops. Who gets the extra pork chop?
That's right.
The dude that goes out and works every day. That's the dude that gets the pork chop.
Yeah.
You know, and it became a problem left when I became a teenager. I'm like, man, hold on, man. It's 9 o'clock. This dude had to go to choir rehearsal. He's still not home. I still can't have a piece of this extra pork chop.
That's right.
I'm hungry again. And you flat out right, left.
That's
You
right.
flat out
So
right.
until we get somebody that's not gonna leave chicken on the plate or pork chop on the plate.
Don't waste the
Listen,
food.
yeah, you want to talk about I need to take home and do we got aluminum foil and to go plastic ware? Do we got some bags to carry? This is a one-stop shop. You coming to eat and finish. That's what all them names on the wall. You know all them names and pictures on the wall, people autograph. That's for people that ate the plate.
Mm-hmm.
That's the people that finished the big piece of chicken. We're not celebrating the guy for good efforts. You done left some of that on the plate.
Yeah, man.
So it's time for a guy with a big appetite to just play right in the moments, man. Doing your job is not good enough in this particular situation.
No.
Because everybody's doing their job. We're a 10-win team. That's why I said last year our biggest issue is who's the X factor. Got a bunch of guys that are good. But
Right. That is,
who we going to?
isn't that the excuse we've been hearing all day? Josh Allen did his job. No, he didn't.
No, we didn't.
No.
No.
No. His job is to make the clutch plays when they are available. He didn't do that.
Because that's his quote unquote specialty. He's the guy that's the freak of nature. He run, throw, whatever. He's a man amongst boys, that thing. But all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden. So.
Yes, man. Lucky Lefty podcast. Just as we tie up this loose end of everything that took place, great football this weekend. Shout out to Lamar. Shout out to Kyle Hamilton. You know, and I want to say as a Chicago Bear fan, shout out. I mean, I love seeing Roquan Smith blossoming in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't like the trade.
Yeah.
But I love to see him blossoming in Baltimore. That's going to be a great matchup. And honestly, Lamar versus Pat, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's the same challenge because I'm fair. It's the same challenge. Lamar has beaten Pat in the regular season. Don't mean a darn thing. If you don't beat him next week, don't mean a darn thing, Lamar. Nothing. Means nothing.
Nothing.
And I tell you this. I'll say this, Left. NFL, if they let Patrick Mahomes get to the Super Bowl this year with that offense he had, Y'all don't realize the monster y'all building, boy. Y'all making it worse on yourselves. You're making it worse. That dude, because if I have to watch him at media day say, yeah, man, I moved into my Airbnb that I got.
No. This time I bought some real estate. This
Right.
time I bought
I
some
just
real
built the
estate right
crib.
next.
I built the crib. I built the crib in Vegas. I was like, man, it's Vegas. I just built the crib here. Hey, man, look,
He
man.
said, "Yeah, I just finished building the west wing of my second house next to the Super Bowl stadium this year, just so I can walk to the state. Last year I had the bike. I was like, that ain't flexing enough. This
That
time
ain't
I want to
flexing enough.
walk
Man,
out my garage, out the front door. I want to walk across the street to the stadium now. This is so yeah. No big deal. No big deal. Just a man with a bunch of money, man.
they're actually building their form of the Hollywood Hills in Vegas. I don't know if construction, I know it started, but I don't know where they are in the development. But yeah, I can definitely see Pat like, yeah, building over there. I could definitely see
Pat,
Pat building over there.
a man with that much money, he thinking about team,
Yeah, Pat is
team
like, hey,
buy-in.
Pat is like our rivals are the Raiders, and I'm gonna come into their stadium
That's right.
and win another one. But he has to go through he has to go through Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, and Lamar, bro.
That's
It's
right.
gonna be a good one. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have
And
it
it's
any
and
other
it's in
way next Sunday.
Baltimore.
Oh yes, sir. I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't have it any other way. And then we get Brock Purdy and Jared Goff. Like just look at those matches: Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, and Pat. And this,
AFC about to go run that thing up. So
uh, and I wonder if Debo is going to be healthy to play. That's going to be important. But
Jared
see,
Goff, man.
no matter, this game isn't about Brock Purdy. This game is about Jared Goff. Because
Yeah.
if bad Jared Goff shows up, which it hasn't happened yet, but it's almost like the Cowboys. At the right moment, bad Jared Goff had just kind of peeks his head up out of
Every
nowhere.
now and again.
Yeah, yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast, man. Let's get to the super chats and get to the bad questions. Love, we have a lot of them. Andrew Gilmore with the super chat. We appreciate you. Any commentary on the Jason Whitlock versus Stephen A. Smith beef is deeply personal between them. Left?
Well, I just think it's a matter of people needing content and then it's crazy that we find a way to beef in any industry. I didn't even know podcast media people could beef. Usually it was the rap stars, the entertainers. But the podcast movement and all that has created, or digital content, I guess, has created this beef where airing out people has been a thing. And I think legitimately, Jason Whitlock objectively isn't wrong. I think he asked some basic questions, it's questions that could come off a little like, why are you so deeply invested into it? I get that. And on Jason's behalf, he was making videos like every other day, bro. Like, like every other day, Jason make a video of Dion or about Stephen A. Like, so I get why Stephen A. responded. He's like, bro, you talk about me all the time, bro. Like, what is wrong with you? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so you can't tell a person how to respond. So Stephen A. Smith's response obviously was more like I'm addressing this one time, which it felt like he did. And Jason's still going. So I think this is just a part of the whole digital content space.
My answer, Andrew, is this. I'll keep it simple so we can get to the rest of the question. I've never met anyone in broadcasting that I have a relationship with or that I've had conversations with that does not agree with Stephen A's description of Jason Whitlock. And that's from my time at ESPN and the conversations with the people that I know in the industry. There's not a lot of people out there that think Jason Whitlock is a good dude. It's just not. And I don't know him, so I can't say. But all I know is there's not a lot of people that are running to stick up for Jason Whitlock and his credibility and who he is as a person. That within itself says a lot. Ryan Loftus, GTB, you can answer this, Left. In and Out or Fat Burger? He said he's going out to LA soon. You're on mute, bro.
In and out only because it's more like
In and
aesthetic.
Out has more on the menu too, don't they?
It's just no Fat Burger does, but In and Out
Okay.
is aesthetically. If we're just talking burger places, what you want to go to, Fat Burger's cool, but I'm not. You're not going to Fat Burger. You know what I mean? It's kind of those things. It ain't nothing else. So it's like a niche thing, but In and Out is more generally accepted for a reason.
I forget the name of it. I'll give you two places. In Inglewood, Nipsey Hussle's sister has a wholeness grocery store and a vegan food spot. And I went there and got a smoothie, and they make their smoothies with eggs. It's incredible. It's incredible. Because I ordered the smoothie and they asked me, they was like, yo, we make our smoothies with egg and egg yolk. Are you cool with that? And I was like, yeah, I'll try it. It makes it creamier. It's man, it and it doesn't impact the flavor. That's what I was shocked by. I was like, yo, and I got in the car. I told my wife, she gave me the screw face. I let her taste it. And she was like, oh, this is actually decent. I'm like, I know. Like, I would have never thought that putting the egg in a smoothie would not impact it, but nah, see, I didn't say it was like the greatest smoothie I ever had. That's not what I said. I'm just saying, like, yo, the way they do it is different. They have the reasons for doing it. It's a health and wholeness place, and it's really good. And then try if you want a very nice burger, Earl's on Crenshaw. Earl's on Crenshaw is absolutely fantastic. Matter of fact, they have a great Instagram page. If you can go to their Instagram page, that dude is putting
You
his
get
food.
ready for coming out here. You already
Oh,
got
yes,
the.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I told you I was doing my research, bro. I have to have my go-tos.
That's right.
I have to have my go-tos. Lucky Lefty podcast. So I hope Ryan, I hope that helps you out for your trip. Josh Buffo, the motivational business banker, says, hate to bring them up, but if Ohio State and Ryan Day lose to Michigan or don't make a natty game, is that it for Ryan Day in your opinion? In my opinion, they went all in on the portal to save his job. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but go ahead, Left.
Yeah, absolutely. This is you know, it's funny because they're just so open with it. Yeah, we spent 13 million to get this roster done. It's obviously you putting all eggs in one basket to win one game this year, and it looks a little desperate. Honestly, it looks desperate, but it's also driving the market of what is perceived to have what it is to have a good team. You gotta have that money. So hopefully, I mean, they can make the most out of it because that's a lot of money to not beat a team that's been whooping you for 3 years straight. Plus, I think it's interesting to see that why are they coming out with this type of information for this. Like, what is the point? We know NIL got to be spent to get certain players, but why is it driven the narrative at Ohio State that we spent this money now for what we believe is an elite roster?
Josh had another GTB question. Any truth to rumors on Mickens or Golden possibly leaving? I'm hoping 100% no, please. Dude, I don't mind. I'm not about to avoid the question. Dude, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Mickens and Al Golden are going to have people trying to get them every off season. So there's going to be rumors. Like, that's what happens when you have good coaches, man. Kirby Smart every year he has good coaches. They're going to come get his coaches, whether they get head coaching jobs, NFL jobs. It is what it is, man. Until you see the report that Mike Mickens is taking a job at Cincinnati or Al Golden is going to the NFL, it's a rumor. That's all it is. So are the rumors true? Yes, every year the rumors are true. People want Notre Dame coaches. Yes, the rumors are true. People are coming after Mike Mickens. Yes, when the NFL season ends and more head coaches get jobs, yes, Al Golden is going to be a hot commodity. Yes, if that's what you mean by the rumors, yes. The rumors are always true. They were true last season. I mean, that's just the case. That's what you get when you recruit well, develop well, and have good coaching. Rumors every year. We went through this last year with Mike Mickens and Al Golden. So we're going to go through it next year.
Yep.
With Mike Mickens, Al Golden, and D'Lo McCullough.
That's what happens when you have a good defense.
Yeah. Somebody asked me a question, John Massey. Shaun, off topic, do you think Hannah Hidalgo will end up as the GOAT for Notre Dame women's basketball? She got to win a championship, dog.
She's not Enrique. Doesn't matter.
I don't care. The rookie record she's breaking, the ACC record she's breaking, all the great stuff she's doing on both ends of the floor. If she doesn't bring a trophy to South Bend, no. And that's where it is with. That's crazy. That's what Muffet McGraw created, right? That's her legacy. It's championship or bust for Niele Ivey. There is.
I mean,
No.
Niele already has the championship.
No, as a player, but she didn't create that culture. Her coach created that culture.
Whoa! She was a coach when they won 1-2.
No. She was a player when they won their first.
And she was an assistant coach when they won the
second.
second.
Stop taking it, dude. Nobody's saying anything. Muffet McGraw created the Notre Dame culture for women's basketball.
Yes.
That's her culture that Niele Ivey has taken over. It's her culture.
That's fair.
That's it. That's all I said. That's her culture.
That's fair.
And Niele Ivey walked in with the expectation of championship or bust. And nobody is like putting up a banner for an ACC championship at Notre Dame for women's basketball. That means nothing. That's the level it's gotten to. Notre Dame's men's basketball has not gotten to that level yet.
Right. They're not championship or bust expectations.
No.
And that's still at
the level where if they win an ACC championship and a tournament,
that's a huge step.
That's huge. They get to a Sweet 16. It was done before under Mike Bray, but Shrewsbury can still. Heck, we talked about the great job Shrewsbury's doing, and they're sub 500. In our opinion, we still feel like Shrewsbury's doing a good job. So, great show today, Left. Let's see. Make sure you tap in. We talked about, of course, with everything that happens around the junior day, raising the level of expectation, the need for big plays and big time players and chess pieces at Notre Dame to manifest themselves. And that's going to be the difference, along with some NFL talk. Malik talking about Josh Allen. He's been waiting for this day, and some other topics, man. What you thought about Notre Dame staff dressing up as leprechauns, banter going back and forth on social media, the uniforms and the moments that were taken this weekend, how important it is to go ahead and get Nathaniel Owusu Boateng, how important his visit and him coming to Notre Dame was, and then locking up Indianapolis, the surrounding areas, and Chicago for Notre Dame football, how big that is and the strides that Notre Dame is making in those areas. And the expectations that, with the coaches being on the road, they're solidifying and sealing everything that was done this weekend in South Bend during the junior day. You know what time it is, Left.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, Petty Story of the Day, brought to you by ONORA Whiskey at NORAWhiskey.com. At Premium American Whiskey at NORAWhiskey.com. Left, you remember when I started off the show? Showed the Jamel Hill clip, the marital rivalry, Jamel being from Detroit, not being a Detroit friend.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens.
And I chose not to put Jamel on the petty train. I just thought
that's an easy layup. That's easy.
No. This dude, Anthony Davis, had the nerve to travel to the San Francisco 49ers and Green Bay Packers game. Not only go there to support the Green Bay Packers, as a Chicagoan who gets nothing but love from Chicago consistently, wearing a Packers jersey and Packers garb.
Oh, yeah, he does it all the time.
The audacity. Thank you, Sean. The audacity. Left. I almost tweeted out my first negative tweet on X about Anthony Davis. I almost did.
Wait, he almost crossed the line that bad.
My Chicago loyalty saved me, Left.
He crossed the line that bad.
Left. Come on, man. Come on, bro. What are we doing, man? Now, I blame your dad for how you ended up a Packers fan. I get it. I understand that you grew up watching Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, and the Bears stunk. I get it. The Bears did go to the Super Bowl during your youth, though. They had the likes of Brian Urlacher.
The Bears did. He was there. He was probably in high school.
You were watching it. I can't, Left. I can't, man. I can't. I can't, man. I have to put him on the petty train, Left. That was too much. You're on the sideline. If you want to be at your crib, posting something on Instagram and all right, fine. That's fine. I don't know. Has LeBron been to Jerry's World for a playoff game yet? That's the only thing I can liken it to. Like, we know that LeBron is a flat-out Dallas Cowboys fan.
He said he wasn't a Cowboys fan anymore. He tried to turn Browns when they were
as soon as the Cowboys get back to the Super Bowl, I guarantee you LeBron.
Well, he's a grifter, so
I'm glad you can admit it.
LeBron gonna grift. That's the only thing that he do that I don't like. He be grifting too much. I'm like, you ain't gotta.
Lucky Lefty
LeBron be grifting too hard, man. I be like, why, LeBron? Why? Why do you feel like
you have to?
Yeah, like just so hard.
Left, we're gonna start digging in. We already did the quarterbacks and running backs. Gonna dig into the tight end position a little bit tomorrow. Had some guests this week, and we're building towards the Patreon launch, the merch. Super excited about the blessings and the opportunity to just talk Notre Dame football and chop it up each and every day. Like we say, it's too much meat on the bone, man, when it comes to Notre Dame and college football. Left had a great weekend. Brock Purdy was mid, and Josh Allen went home. Lucky Lefty podcast. Hey, man, be blessed. Have a great Monday. Most of all, you got to make sure that you continue to spin it.